Yo guys, what up? Back again, sharing my journey of building a profitable Blender Octane community on the Skool platform. Right now, I'm basically making 5,000 annually through my Skool platform and through my Blender community that I've built on there. And I'm building and strategizing in public through these videos and also sharing my growth strats across YT and my Skool community just to help engage and help inspire people out there who feel that they're kind of stuck and you want to make some type of income off of your love or things you like doing. Well, I'm on that journey right now, and instead of just talking about the rewards, I'm going to talk about everything, the struggle, the journey, and the daily day that I go through. So here it is. If you guys are new here, basically we're going to go through the YouTube comments on my main channel here, and then I'll talk a little bit about what I'm doing today as far as my whole business strategy building in public, and then I'll go through my growth stats across my channels here. Also, another reason why I do this is to force myself to be disciplined in some of the actions that I do. Again, if I'm trying to build a business, there's going to be a lot of discipline needed, and this is a great exercise for me to build that discipline. Always repeating, always showing up, always putting in the work, even though I don't want to do it today or I don't want to do it yesterday. Doing that grind to get it in. So this is why I also do this here. All right. Enough of the jibber jab. Let's get into some YouTube comments here. I'm going to spend like the first 5 minutes kind of going through comments here. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that down to 5 minutes there. Throw on my timer. Timer is a go. Let's go to comments. So we are on my main page here with the comments. What do we got here? I dropped a new video about making dirty glass. Right. Thanks. Got it. Another one, making a 3D scene glowing with this free Blender add-on shader. Okay, this was a video that I did a while back where for a project I was trying to get that LED screen effect. So I made a little shader, special shader for that, and I actually shared that shader out. It's actually in my Skool community, and I think that it's also available on the Gumroad. That's also available on the Gumroad. Thank you for everything you've got talent about. Thank you for everything you've taught us about Octane, Brian. You are welcome. And I'm going to be getting back onto those live streams shortly here. As soon as my daughter finishes up summer vacation, she's got one more week, and then I'll get back to live streaming here. That was something that I was also trying to do to build that daily repetition of discipline. Next one. Max Hayes is a great channel to watch because he shows the importance of lighting a scene by disabling all lighting, including HDR environment lights, and sculpting the scene one light at a time. Also know what you want with the reference image. Lastly, learn how color reacts to change to certain lights. Basically, Blender doesn't see what you see. We go by what we think we see when it comes to color. Yeah, that's a great tip. But most true really established 3D artists basically do that same thing. You just basically turn off all the lights and you start painting with the lights. Again, it's something I also learned when I was doing cinematography stuff and filmmaking, was that you go into an empty studio, and most of the time the empty studio is completely black. There are no lights. You bring in the lights, you build the scene. I did that with my room here in this lighting setup here. Literally, I turned off all my lights, put this one light here. This was going to be my key light. And then from there, I just start building. I build up my light. I start building up my scene. Here, let me go full screen for a moment. I build up my scene. I actually got the window open for my plants there, but typically this is also closed out. I've gotten these dark curtains that allows me to black out the whole room. All my lights are off right now. And then basically I build it one light at a time. So I started off with just in this case, my key light. And if I go back to my other lights here, I got my background accent lights here, right? And then I also have, what's this other one here? There's my other one. So, and then I've got that orange light there too. So literally just painting the light, like how do I want this to be? And literally going in one by one, actually trying to get position so I can see, there we go. One by one, add each light in. Key light, right? I'll actually turn that off, right? Boom, there's my key light. This was my main light, and I didn't like the way this looked. And then I also have an alternative light to back that light up. Sometimes like this, see my shadows are a little bit too dark here. So I've got another fill light just to actually fill that in. Boom, just a little more fill light to lighten up the whole room a little bit also. I kind of use that sometimes, but in this case, I'm not going to really use it today. I like having it dark where it's at like that. And then again, just, yeah, painting the light. I just literally built it one light at a time. There's that light, we bring that light in, and there's that light, and then we bring back my blue light. And that's how it is. So yeah, I truly understand that. For any of you guys who are struggling with light, that's the best tip that I can get. Start off with it black and build your light, but also work off a reference. It's always important to have a reference. Next one. Interesting, but basic lighting. Oh, this was just an experiment. Yep, again, in this experiment here, there was again blacked out scene. Just kill the lights there for a moment. Yeah, blacked out scene, playing with emissive particles. Blacked out the whole scene. The only light source was the particles, and then playing with some emission. That's all it was. And then the glare and the effect. But that's basically, again, full black environment. That is the lighting. Just playing with that. So yeah, very fun stuff. Interesting. Basic looking. Thanks. Oh, and the rain has started. Next question. Laughy face. Blender Octane download. You're welcome. Stop what you're doing. More time in Blender means more skills. Let's see exactly what he says here. Nope. What do you nope? Now, what do you mean nope? Let's see. Now one of my posts here. Stop what you're doing. More time in Blender means more skills. People often think art is about talent. It's not. It's about practice. Open Blender today and make one small thing. Keep showing up and make something each time. Practice every day and you'll get better. Time in Blender builds real skill, not just talent. Very true. Like anything in life, you got to put in the reps. Nope, I disagree. I disagree with you. Sorry, buddy. I don't have time for nonsense and foolishness. Next. Do you know if it's possible to use Blender offline? I thought it wasn't possible, but I keep enjoying your videos, so I did some searching and found some hints that it might be, but I wanted to ask an expert before I tried jumping through all the hoops. Great. I'm not an expert. I'm just like you. I'm another person on that journey. I just a little bit further down the journey than you are because I've just started earlier, right? And again, one thing that helps me understand things is if I understand it, teach it to somebody else so I can truly understand it. Because if I know how to teach it to somebody else and they can do it, I truly understand it. That's the only thing why I keep doing this is going over the loop to try to get it better. Now, if you're talking about Blender Octane, it does need that server to connect to the server because basically, a lot of people ask, why is Blender Octane have to be online? Like, why do we need to be online? Is because, again, the Octane render is not open source. That's Otoy's thing. That's Otoy stuff, right? So what they basically do is we have that little basic link between us and the Octane render, which you need to be online for, which they basically just check to make sure if you're registered and you got the proper credentials to be using it, and that's all that is. But that's just a gateway for us to get into the Octane render because they don't want to just take the full, I don't know, all the details of what it takes to build an Octane render and just throw it in Blender and then people can open source it. Since it's open source, they can go in there and figure out how the coding. I don't know all that jibber jabber of the exact, but it's more of a protective of Otoy to protect the Octane renderer, right? Now, same with Cycles. Like, I don't know if Cycles render is open source or if it's closed source. Like, I don't know if you can get in there and start changing the code on the Cycles render. If anybody knows about that, let me know down in the comments. But I know Blender coding is open source, right? So that is. Now, Otoy is not. So that's one reason why we have to have that online bridge to connect us, to keep their privacy and to still allow us free access to it. Again, you just basically using it to check in, and that's about it. Otherwise, if using it offline, yeah, I don't know. I'm always home. My computer's always online. My laptop's always online because I have Wi-Fi. If I was working on a project and I needed to truly be offline, like I'm working on an airplane or something, I'll just use Cycles for a little bit. And just for the flight, I'll just I'll just use Cycles if I really, 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 really needed to be offline. Like, I don't not use Cycles. I do use Cycles, but if I really need it and I need to be offline, I would just use Cycles, right? There it is. All right, so that's enough for the questions here right now. Hope that helped you out a little bit. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about my building strategies in public and what I'm doing right now. So, for those of you guys who do not know, if you're new here, I have a Discord just like everybody else does, and I was going to build a Patreon just like everybody else does, and I was going to sell a course on my Patreon just like everybody else does, but I halted on that. And I ran across a guy by the name of Alex Hormozi, who I've been following for a long time, and he talks about, you know, building an offer that's irresistible for somebody that, and they want to sign up to whatever you're offering, right? And at that time, he's actually half owner of this company called Skool. And right when I was about to launch my whole Patreon course deal, I ran across him in Skool, and he was like, you know, join the Skool community. If you join the Skool community, I can guarantee you within 90 days, you'll probably get your first paying client or customer or member of your community. And sure enough, like I did it for 3 months, and I got my first paying member who joined my community. And that was March of last year. So I'm very early into this journey, guys. I'm very early into this journey. And at the moment, I am making $512 every month. MRR means monthly recurring revenue. And the reason why I show this is not to show off. It's to show off to say that you can be doing the same thing that I'm doing. I don't have these masterful skills in 3D. I don't do like product renders. You know what I do? I figure out problems and how to do them in Blender Octane. Like, how do you convert cycles materials to Octane? That's what I like, figuring out problems. So I built a community to share the results that I'm getting from trying to figure out that problem. And I'm making $500 a month helping people understand how to use the Octane renderer. Now, if you are a product render guy and you've got mad skills and you've been in the game, you do freelance work, you know what? There's somebody out there who wants to do that. And like, in the beginning, instead of grinding to try to get that next client, maybe you can start focusing on sharing the love of how to make renders for product render quality that are professional enough to get paid. You can build a community around that, and you can make an income on that, a monthly recurring income on that, just from doing that, right? And then if you're really good in the way you establish yourself and get everything set up, you could just do that full time and not even have to worry about getting clients, right? So I'm just sharing this journey to open other people's eyes out. Whatever your passions is, doesn't have to necessarily 3D. It could be your love for dogs, or your love for playing pickleball, or whatever. You can build a community off of your passion and make some type of income off of that. So I'm doing it right now. Like I started, like I said, I'm barely into 8 months into my journey of this, and I never would have thought I would have been making $512 a month. Never, right? So what I'm focusing on right now at the moment is just trying to give as much value to my members in my community as possible. Like giving them more value than they would ever get from a paid course. Like I'm just giving them so much value that it's hard for them to say, God, I can't leave this place because I'm getting so much value. That's my main focus right now. And I just dropped another add-on. I just dropped an add-on here for my community, this lighting add-on. And it's to help out, like mainly I was struggling too, how to set up lights. Like you have a scene, you got to set up all these lights, especially a 3-point light. You got to set up this light, you got to set up this light, set up this. Well, this thing here allows us to just set up a preset. Even if you have your own custom lighting setup, you can save that setup and then just reload that setup at the click of a button, right? And that's what we built here. Just again, tools to allow my members to be able to work pain-free. So this is something, again, that I get back from Alex Hormozi. I'm going to just be dropping business knowledge for you guys for a minute. I'm just sharing what I've learned. One thing, and especially people who want to do something like this, like they figure like, well, what should I do? What's my niche? The biggest thing, or there's the 4 core values. There is 1, what is the ultimate goal that this person wants to achieve? 2, what is the likelihood that they're going to be able to achieve this goal? 3, how can we speed that process up? What's the shortest amount of time that we can get them to their goal? And then 4 is, how can we make it the most painless, right? So I have people who want to use Blender Octane. Maybe they're not happy with cycles, Well, they don't know how to use Octane. Well, I'm going to teach you how to use Octane. Two, I'm going to teach you as fast as possible because it took me 3 years. I'm going to teach it to you in about 2 to 3 months. And then on top of that, I'm going to make it as painless as possible for you by having these little tools and these add-ons and things to help you. Having a Blender Octane startup file that already has all the passes set up, that has preset lights, that has preset materials built inside of it. You don't have to struggle like I did how to set up the proper color space, how to figure out how to export AOVs out of your file. I have that all set up for you. And that's totally spitting and slobbering all over the place. Short commercial break, guys. I've been studying about herbalism. I'm like my third day of it. I was watching this podcast called Diary of a CEO, and he has this herbalist special on there, and he talks about the power of herbs and like how common household herbs, like their powers and the things they have that way better than healing medicine. And I always drink coffee, right? But today is the first time I've actually had a cup of coffee that I made that I'm like, damn, this is good and it's healthy. I've got chai in here. I got chai spices in here, which is an antioxidant, which is an anti-inflammatory herb. It also aids in digestion, and it also helps circulation. And then I've added a little bit of cinnamon in it. I had to write the recipe down because I was so shocked, right? I had cinnamon in here, which is also, again, another antioxidant. Also helps with regulating blood sugar and is also anti-inflammatory. And also a natural sweetener, right? Like I did not put any sugar in this, and this thing is awesome. Like it feels like I had like the whole syrup and sugar and all that junk. No, it's just awesome. Anyways, and then I added a little bit of ginger in there. I love, ever since I came to Japan and started living here, I got exposed to ginger like in a different way than I did in America, and I love ginger. So we got ginger, another anti-inflammatory, supports digestive, reduces nausea if you're feeling nausea, and also helps with circulation, and is a natural stimulant for warming your body, right? Now, you keep hearing the anti-inflammatory, 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 because, matter of fact, slowly, my back, my back is like jacked, like, and I've been stretching, and I like it flared up on me a couple days because I've been doing some exercise, some planks, and my back started hurting, and that's a natural defense. Anti-inflammatory is a natural defense that protect itself. So I've been drinking these anti-inflammatory agents or herbs to help with help that work on the inside instead of just popping some pills, which I'm already against. But instead of taking some Tylenol, I've just been drinking these herbal teas. I've been drinking ginger, and dude, like, God, man, what's amazing, this stuff works like that. Like I start drinking the tea, not even 5 minutes, I'm already feeling the effects. Where on like the pills, it's gonna take another 45-30 minutes to break it down. Okay, sorry guys, I had to go on that side ramp about herbs because it's fascinating. I bought a book last night just already, and I'm already like spent an hour in it. That's why it's good stuff, right? Anyways, so I'm gonna wrap this up, guys. We're gonna sign off here with me going through my daily through my wait for it, there it is, my stats. And the reason why I track the stats again is also, if you're not tracking, you're not truly understanding what you're doing. So the reason why I like to track this, again, to practice discipline and to practice seeing what's going on. And what I'm really liking about tracking the stats is I'm getting a real-time update of everything, of what I'm doing. If I upload a certain type of video and like all of a sudden I get a spike in some of my, like maybe my subs or something, then I know something might be, I can immediately find out what it is and repeat it, right? So that's why I constantly track things. So let's go, first of all, we're going to go to the Skool tracker. And let's come into my settings. All right, this one doesn't change too often. I wish it changed a lot more, but let's jump down here. We are at now 8. Today is 8/15, not 18, 8/15, 25. We are still holding solid at 33 members. We are making 512 a month. Let me confirm that. Yep, 512 a month. Churn is 5.4. Churn is basically the percentage of people leaving your community or canceling their subscription. Basically, anything below 10 is absolutely fantastic, but this is also a little bit biased because I don't have a lot of people joining all the time. You can see my click-through rate is 1.6, and this is on the last 7 days. Out of 86 people who came to my about page, 1.6 of them actually converted. We had one sign up there, so my turn is 5.4, which is still very good. That means people are joining and they're staying for a very long time. Okay, so let's go back here, and again, about page views, which I'm really trying to get up, 86. We're at 86, and that's slowly coming up, and that's a difference of 3. And then the turn is 5.4, still the same, hasn't changed it, right? 5.4, good. So 86, we're slowly coming back up. Like this was, you see these numbers here about my about page were very high, and this was because back then I was just telling everybody. Every link that I had posted, it was just going straight to my about page for my Skool community. An about page for your Skool community is kind of like your website. It's kind of like your basic. The first page that your members will come to, they'll come here, they'll see this short video, which is a video sales letter that I've made, basically telling them what benefits they're going to get from joining your community, some testimonials of other members in my community, and basically giving a sneak peek inside, and this short little description about your community, right? And then on the outside, there will be, if you want to pay, you can come in here and pay. Now they just added Google Pay and Apple Pay, which is absolutely fantastic because I had a lot of members who were in countries where they didn't have a card on file and they couldn't. Now they have Google Pay and Apple Pay, which is makes it a lot more easier. Oh, I thought we just got another member who joined. So that about page was everybody. I'll just throw my link out. Everybody was coming to that about page. Now we've built a sales page before that to filter out just the noise and get leads, get people who are really truly interested in what I'm doing. And I just brought on my first actual member to help me out in my community, and he set up this absolutely wonderful sales page here and website on Fiverr. So now all my links go to this first. They come straight into here, and this is basically, this helps us weed out the people who are just on the fence versus people who really want to do something about it, right? And it tells about all the benefits. We break everything down, and we basically hit their pain points. Like, hey, does this happen to you? Are you struggling with this? Are you struggling with that? Well, guess what? This is where this is going to fix it and help you with that, right? And then plus we also takes you to my full course, my 101 Blender guide. So that also filtered a lot of my traffic, and that's why the numbers have dipped a little bit. But now we're getting higher quality leads, right? So that's really nice to have there. So this is like slowly starting to help we start getting to go back up. I'm going to need to make more content to get this to go back up. So now I want to take a look at my stats for, now I added this in yesterday. So if I accidentally hit table, and I need to learn Excel. I'm starting to slowly learn how to use this Excel. Can I just grab that down? I don't know. Anyways, 8. What are we at? 8:15 today. 8:15. Oh, it automatically updates. Nice. YouTube stats. YouTube stats. We're at 414. 414. 8,414. That's a difference of 7. Nice. Okay. Average view duration. Why do I track average view duration? Because these are stats Mr. Beast said you should always be checking. And I listen to anything Mr. Beast says. Because he's the best YouTuber on the platform. Right? Where do we go to again? Was it content? All video? No, audience? Oh, there it is. I went from all to videos. Average view duration, 1.54. How long do they watch my videos? That's basically what that is. 1.54. That hasn't changed. These metrics slowly change. And then click-through rate. If they don't click on your video, they're not going to watch it. Click-through rate, 3.4. 3.4. All right, 3.4. And that means I need to work on my thumbnails, right? So I constantly need to be working on title and thumbnails to get them to watch longer. Okay, so there's that. And my second daily channel is still holding steady at 9 subscribers there. So that's it for my stats. And pretty much that's it for today, guys. So catch you guys tomorrow. Definitely, you got any questions, post them here on this channel or even on my second channel. Doesn't matter. I'll be able to answer them either way. Catch you guys tomorrow. Peace. Keep rendering. Blender Octane. This is the way. Peace.